The flame within David was a 24-year-old young man who lived in a small village nestled among green mountains. On the outside, his life seemed ordinary, but inside, his mind was like a storm that never ceased. All day long, thoughts rushed in and out. One idea would come, another would go, leaving behind a heavy sense of weariness and unease. He often felt sorrow when remembering mistakes of the past. At times, he drowned in worries about a future yet to come. These thoughts robbed him of the ability to enjoy the present. At night, when the village slept, David lay restless in bed, eyes heavy yet mind refusing to rest. Memories, fears, and regrets struck like relentless waves, exhausting him. Even his smile, once radiant and full of youth, had gradually disappeared. Deep down, David knew he could not go on living this way. He longed for the day he could reclaim peace, when his mind would quiet down and his heart would grow lighter. That desire became a flame, urging him to step onto a journey he had never imagined. One day, David heard villagers speak of a remote place high in the hills where a wise old man lived. They said he had once been a renowned psychologist in the city, helping countless people find peace of mind. Now, in his old age, he had left behind the noise of the city to live in a small house close to nature. Sometimes, he welcomed visitors who truly sought guidance. Hearing this, hope flickered in David's heart. Perhaps this man can help me escape the storm in my mind, he thought. Without hesitation, he decided to set out. The road to that village was long and harsh. He crossed dense forests, waded through icy streams, and climbed steep, rugged slopes. Every step was a struggle between exhaustion and determination. After many days of hardship, David finally reached the hilltop village. Before him stood a small house covered in green vines. In the yard sat an old man quietly reading. His face was gentle, his gaze calm, radiating a peace David had never seen before. In that instant, he knew he had found the one he had been seeking. David approached, bowed respectfully, and spoke with desperation. "Sir, my mind is restless. I cannot stop thinking, and I cannot find peace. Please help me." The old man slowly closed his book and looked at David with kind eyes. A faint smile appeared, gentle yet profound, as if he already understood all the turmoil in the young man's heart. "Do you truly wish for peace?" the old man asked. David nodded firmly. The old man stood up, went inside, and returned with a candle. Lighting it, he placed it in David's hand. "Take this candle," he said. "Walk around the village at the foot of this hill. But remember, no matter what happens, the flame must not go out." David stared at the fragile flame, anxiety rising within him. A mere gust of wind could snuff it out. Yet he knew this was a test he had to face. Bowing gratefully, he carefully held the candle and began the strange journey. The wind on the hillside was sharp. At once, the flame flickered dangerously. David quickly cupped his other hand around it, hunched low, and walked slowly. Each sudden gust sent fear racing through him. His heart pounded, sweat ran down his brow, but all his attention was fixed on shielding the light. He passed through the forest, where golden rays of sunset streamed through the branches, yet he dared not lift his eyes. He crossed the fields, where birds sang their evening songs, but he did not listen. He walked past the village, where children played and adults greeted him, yet he noticed none of it. All his focus remained on the trembling flame. Time crawled on. After a long and weary walk, when his legs felt heavy and his back was soaked with sweat, David finally returned to the old man's house. The candle was still burning in his hand. Relief and pride surged through him. He had succeeded. The old man looked at him with approval. "Well done," he said softly. "The flame is still alive." Then he asked, "But tell me, did you see the colors of the sunset? Did you hear the birds calling in the forest? Did you notice the villagers smiling at you?" David lowered his head, embarrassed. "No, sir. I saw none of it. I only focused on protecting the flame." The old man's smile deepened, calm and knowing. "And that," he said, "is the secret. When your mind is fully focused on one thing, there is no space left for regrets of the past or worries of the future. You just experience what it means to be present. That, my friend, is the key to peace." Hearing this, David's eyes widened in realization. He understood now. His restlessness had never come from the world outside, but from his own wandering mind. Forever trapped in yesterday or rushing toward tomorrow, never anchored in the now. Sitting before the old man, David let the words sink in like rain falling onto parched earth. Peace was not something to be sought elsewhere. It had always been within him, hidden beneath layers of thought and fear. The old man's voice was calm, each word carrying the weight of truth. The past is gone. The future is not yet here. Only the present is real. Guard the flame within you by living fully in this very moment. David bowed deeply. In his heart, a strange lightness spread, as though the burden he had carried for years had suddenly lifted. He knew he had found the key to changing his life. Leaving the house, David walked down the familiar path once more. Now, the setting sun painted the earth in hues of orange and gold. Birds flew gracefully back to their nests, and a gentle breeze brushed against his skin. But unlike before, this time David noticed them all. He breathed deeply, smiled softly, and savored every detail of the moment. He was no longer the same restless young man. A newfound calm lived within him. The whispers of worry and the shadows of fear faded into the distance. In their place was stillness, like a tranquil lake reflecting the moon. On his way back to his village, each step felt lighter than ever before. His journey had transformed him, not because of the candle, but because of the lesson it carried, the power of the present. And David's story is not his alone. It mirrors the lives of many of us. We drift between the past and the future, burdened by regrets and exhausted by fears. We forget that life does not exist in yesterday or tomorrow, but only in this living moment. When David held the candle, his entire being focused on protecting the flame. In that state, his mind ceased to wander. He was fully present, and in presence, peace revealed itself. The old man's lesson was simple yet profound. Protect the flame within your mind by keeping your focus on the now. The past is sealed, the future is uncertain. Only the present is alive, vibrant, and full of treasures. The colors of sunset, the songs of birds, the tender touch of the breeze. These can only be felt here and now. If we learn to live with this awareness, our minds will calm, our hearts will grow light, and life itself will turn beautiful. Peace, joy, and true happiness can only be found in this very moment.